Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Proline. We are geared up for Week 9 already. Week 9 of the National Football League season. It's flying by. Not a lot of parity between the top and the bottom of the league this year. But it doesn't matter because the action is still good. There's plenty to bet on, and got some pretty good selections for you from the guys. Jim Feist is here, John Cranton as well. I'm Dave Koken. Jim, the NFL's been absolutely sensational for you. I mean, you've had a great year. And you've got a tremendous special for November that kicks off today.
Well, Dave, a couple comments. Right off the bat, you said there's a lot of parity. Boy, that is true. In the middle of the pack, that's true. I mean, there's some bad teams at the bottom. I don't know what you do with Jack. Somebody asked me the other day, could Alabama beat Jacksonville? And I said, absolutely not. Jacksonville has, 53 ex-college players that they're all in the pros, and Alabama only has maybe 6, 8 guys that might end up in the pros. So it's no that kind of question, but they are bad. They're really bad, and there's other teams in the NFL that are bad too, and some of them are going to actually get worse because of injuries, and they're not deep. So when they have the injuries, and we're sure having people go down every week. Tremendous amount of injuries. It's a league issue that they're going to have to deal with. Officials making bad calls or no calls at all where they should make them. But overall, when you analyze the record that I have, it's been pretty amazing. And my totals in the NFL have been absolutely incredible. I have an offer that you just can't miss. We're talking about all of November. $39, pro and college football, NBA, college hoops, NHL. It'll include a game of the month winners on Saturday, revenge game of the month, and a Pac-12 game of the month. College hoops start on November 8th. That's 8th. And it'll include my turkey shoot weekend. I've got it all covered for November. And if you sign up early, you get a free bonus play tonight. Just call 1-866-841-1655. That's a hell of a package. The entire month of November with a guy that's absolutely been red hot. $39, 1-866-841-1655. If you don't call, you're not going to win. So I would suggest you make the call and you do it now.
John, I know Mr. Vegas has got some good stuff going this weekend. Tell us about that.
Sure, Mr. Vegas has a 3-game trifecta, game of the year trifecta going for $29. It's going to include his overall college game of the year. Now, that play is available for $100 online right now, but you're going to get that as part of this 3-game package for $29. It's going to include his NFC South game of the year going Sunday, and as a bonus, if you sign up early, he's got his Thursday night NFL game of the year. Really likes the Thursday NFL game. You can get that as a bonus too. 3 games or 4 if you sign up early for $29. 1-866-841-1627 from Mr. Vegas.
I've got 2 real big games going on Saturday in college football. These are both conference games of the year, so they're both window plays as well in my personal service, and that means they're games that sell individually for $500 a shot. You're going to get both these games for $10. It's a one-time special, and we're going to guarantee the 2-0. You must win both games, or November's going to be completely free of charge. So for $10, it's a real strong call on our side of things. We're putting up the entire month for that one small price. You're only going to do that if the games look really strong, and they certainly fit on that count. Sign up early. You're going to get bonus football winners tonight. 1-866-896-1629 is the number to call. That's 1-866-896-1629. Let's get into the Twitter question of the week. You can follow at Jim Feist Sports on Twitter. You can also friend us on Facebook at Proline TV. Blake Bellini from Bronx, New York. The Jekyll and Hyde Jets. Beat the Falcons on the road, beat the Patriots, then get blown out at Cincinnati, 49-9. Who are the real Jets? Well, they haven't won 2 in a row all year. What they are is a very young football team in a lot of spots that shows that inexperience. I mean, the quarterback's a perfect symbol for the team. Geno Smith's had some good games, and Geno Smith's had some really bad games. To me, they are what they are. They're a team that's going to be 6 to 8 wins. And that's what most 6 to 8 win teams are, Blake. I mean, I'm not knocking you here with the question, but that's what they do. They win one week and they lose the next week, and that's why they're they're average, middle-of-the-pack teams. But the Jets are right now, so I don't find anything surprising about them or disappointing either. I think they're, honestly, of all the 32 teams, you might argue that the Jets have fit their projection more than anybody else in the league. I mean, they're exactly where we thought they'd be before the season started, Jim.
Well, I agree with you, Dave. They are an average football team, and they're playing average football. And I can totally explain how they ended up. Yeah, I can't explain the score, of course, 49-9, but Cincinnati is starting to open up their attack. Andy Dalton is starting to become, he's kind of growing into what I thought he was going to become when he got into the league. We always called Cincinnati being a conservative team with conservative coaching and Andy being a conservative guy. But if you look at the number of passes he's throwing down the field now, over 20 yards, the last 3 or 4 games, it's exceptionally higher than it had been the previous several years that he's been in the league. This is a different team, and they're rounding into form. I see bigger and better things. So here's what happens. You got New England plays the Jets, and the Jets come out with a 30-27 victory, and that's the biggest rivalry. So that's a very big emotional game. They get the win, and now they have to go back. They have to go on the road to Cincinnati, who's coming off big wins on the road themselves. They're coming home, and they just weren't ready for that football game. Plus, when you look at the Jets, they're minus 11, I think, in turnovers on the season. They're a very sloppy football team. Their quarterback is young, as Dave mentioned. He throws more interceptions than he does touchdown passes. They fumble quite a bit. This is not a great football team, and I think what Dave said, and personally, I actually think they're overperforming. I think they're actually doing better. They have more wins now than I thought they would have. Of course, we didn't know who would be a quarterback until Sanchez got hurt, and then it forced Geno Smith into the starting position. So he has an upside. The team has an upside. I think Rex Ryan's doing a pretty good job coaching this team. They don't have much talent at the skill positions. I think they're overperforming, and if I was a Jet fan, I'd be very satisfied with the season the way it's going.
Before we get to the games,
I agree with both you guys. Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. We expected the Jets coming into the season to be around a 500 team because they were rebuilding, and really that's exactly what we've seen. I mean, that game in Atlanta that they shocked everybody on national TV, won the game. Well, what has the Atlanta Falcons turned out to be? Not that good. They upset the Patriots in overtime. Patriots have a lot of problems, and look at the 3 games that they lost. The Steelers beat them by 13. The Bengals just blew them out by 40, and even the Titans 38-13. So I agree with Jim. This team is overperforming. And what is common with young teams, we're seeing with the Jets, 3-1 at home, 1-3 on the road. So they really struggle away from home, Dave.
All right, before we get to the games, let's tell you about how you can get free plays every day by a text message. It's very easy. Nothing could be easier, actually. All you have to do is text Koken to get mine. Text Koken to 313131, and you get back that day's free play via text message. Jim, same story with you.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. It's very simple. It goes right to your cell phone. Text WINNER, WINNER, to 313131. We'll send you free plays each and every day right to your cell phone. This is a very exciting time of the year. We got NHL, we got college basketball, we got pro basketball, we've got a little baseball left. We don't know if that's going to end tonight or in a couple days, but and then of course we have football, college and pro. So this is one of the most, it is the most exciting time of the year, at least for me. There's a lot of betting opportunities. There's gold in them there hills, and that's what we're out there digging for every day.
All right, let's start it off with the Eagles and Raiders as we break down the games. John, take it away.
Well, here's a game where the Philadelphia offense, that high-flying, up-tempo, high-octane offense, has just slowed down the last couple of weeks. What is going on? Well, there's a comment from Chip Kelly this week. He said, we're unstable at the quarterback spot. We just haven't played well, and it's cost us. That can be interpreted as an excuse It's also the truth. I mean, they've used Mike Vick, Nick Foles, and Matt Barkley, all kinds of problems. When you have that kind of instability, you're going to struggle on offense. And that's exactly what we're seeing. And now we see that the third stringer is going to be starting again. 15-7 loss to the Giants, a 17-3 loss the previous week to the Cowboys. No offensive production, no matter what Chip Kelly tries to do. When you look at the Raiders, I mean, this team is on a 12-2 run under the total. They're playing pretty good defense, and they're not a flashy offense. They're last in the NFL in passing, but they're pretty good rushing the football. So that's kind of the way I look at this game, will be the total. And when the Raiders play in October, they happen to be 21-7 under the total, and their last 8 home games, 8-1 under the total. So, Jim, I'm going to look at a lower scoring game here, which has been in vogue with the Eagles the last 2 weeks.
You know, you're 100% right, John. For a team that can't get out of their own way offensively, and the way the Philadelphia Eagles started the season, we thought they were going to score, they're run 170 plays or more a game and score, and nobody be able to keep up with them at the pace. Well, first of all, you're in the pros, you're playing against pros, you only got a 53-man roster, and your defense has to hold up, and that everything fell apart for Chip Kelly and this experiment in Philadelphia, and I don't know if it's ever going to work. I really don't know. The way that the quarterbacks go down in this league, I don't know that you're ever going to have that stability at quarterback running that type of offense in the NFL. Now, for them to win a game, it certainly is better for them to be on the road, because I think they haven't won a game at home since 1842. It's been absolutely incredible how they can't even win a game. Forget about cover a game. They can't win a game. Now they're going to the West Coast, playing the Raiders. The Raiders aren't really much, but they're having a decent season. They can't throw the ball very well, but they do rush it well. Terrelle Pryor has come on pretty strong as a runner. He manages the game from a passing standpoint. Not a very strong game for anybody to look. You're not seeing a lot of talent on the field here. And you got Foles at quarterback. It's definitely an underplay. Without a doubt, it's an underplay. Picking the winner when you make the Raiders a home favorite, boy, that changes things quite a bit. When they're a little bit of a dog, I like taking points with a team like the Raiders. I can't bet Philadelphia. They got too many injuries, backup quarterback issues. The last time Foles was on the field, he was absolutely horrendous. I'd have to take the Raiders, but I can't be too strong with it, but I can definitely feel strong about taking the under.
Well, look, the Eagles are actually 3-1 on the road. So they get out of Philly, and they have been bad. To me, it's a little dicey to go against a team that clearly their confidence level is higher on the road right now. I don't want them, though. Matt Barkley hasn't shown me that he belongs anywhere near an NFL field right now. I mean, he's not a serviceable backup, let's put it that way. So, I guess I'll look at the total as well. The numbers here, Oakland's dead last in the league in passing. So they're going to run the football. We know that. And in fact, the more they run it, the better off they are, because when they start throwing it is when the mistakes start happening. Pryor certainly looks like he's going to have a nice career as an NFL quarterback, but throwing the football is the weakest part of his game right now. It'll catch up. I think he's going to be a good player. And they've got a good running game. So you would think they'll rely on that. Now, the Eagles, of course, are very good stopping the run. I think they're 9th in the league, so that's pretty good. Their pass defense is horrible. So maybe Pryor can get something going through the air, but I don't think that's really going to be what Oakland tries a lot. I think they're going to keep things conservative and keep the ball overland, if you will. And as far as the Eagles' offense is concerned, I can't trust them with Matt Barkley. So I'm left with having to agree with you guys. I mean, it's the logical look here is on the under, so we'll go that way as well. Under on the Raiders hosting the Eagles. Second game is the Colts and Texans matching up on Sunday night. I'm going to have to look at the total on this one because I am going to have a personal side on this game. I'm going to save that for the clients that are on board this weekend. Of course, you know how to become one of those if you want to get the side in this game. And as far as the total is concerned, again, you're faced with a situation where the starting quarterback is gone for Houston. But in this case, kind of looks like it might be a good thing. I think they're excited about Case Keenum. And he looked good in the first game. He had some mistakes. And that fumble at the end of the game, I could have killed him because it almost went in the end zone for a touchdown, which would have beat me. But fortunately, it didn't. And they ran the clock out, and that was that. But I think Houston is a little different football team in terms of what they're going to try and do offensively. I actually think they're going to take more shots downfield with Keenum than they have been with Schaub. That's not Schaub's stock and trade anyway. Schaub is more of an intermediate passer. And Keenum has the ability to get the ball down the field, and I think they're going to take some shots against the Colts here. They can also run the football on this team. For as well as Indianapolis is doing, and obviously 5-2, they're playing terrific football. They've beaten some of the best teams in the league. They've beaten San Francisco, they've beaten Seattle, they've beaten Denver. They're still right down at the bottom of the league in rushing defense. So I think Houston can move the ball on them. As for the Texans, well, there's not a lot positive to say on the defensive side of the ball either, quite honestly. I think this is a team that has been disappointing in every aspect of the game, and that's why they're 2-5 right now. I think Luck's going to move the ball on them, and I believe you'll get points in this game, a little value, because with Keenum, it's being priced as if they have a backup quarterback out there. I think you're actually getting a couple of points of value there. So I'm going to go with the over in this game, and I think it's actually a pretty good play. Jim?
Well, again, I couldn't disagree with you, Dave. Schaub's been a disappointment as far as taking a team to the next level for quite a while. And when you look at the offensive production of this Houston team, they rank 30th in the league. I mean, this is a team that almost everyone thought was going to run away from with this division. And now it looks like Indianapolis is running away with the division. The big difference here, to me, is the situation at quarterback. We know what we got with Luck. We don't really know what we have with Keenum. In college, he was tremendous. He played an efficient game against Kansas City. And they're starting him. So obviously that's saying that they've kind of burned out on Schaub, and Keenum showed enough, and he's probably showing enough with the first stringers in practice. But that's a big mystery. You still have a kid here coming out of college that didn't get a shot right away like a lot of these guys that come out of college. He sat on the bench. Small favorite for Indianapolis. Tough to take a home. You got a home underdog here that's in desperation mode. The problem is these Colts have beaten the three best teams in football. They beat, San Francisco, they beat Seattle, and they beat Denver. So, I mean, how good is Indianapolis? And that is a huge question. They lost the wide receiver a couple weeks ago in that game against Denver. Tough loss, quality player. And it's just a tough spot. But when you talk about desperation mode, you're talking about the Texans absolutely have to put up a fight here, or their season is done. They're absolutely done. And they're doing it with an unproven quarterback. So in practice, he must be showing something. However, and this is a caveat, this has been an underperforming team for years when it comes down to the big pressure games.
Yep.
And to take this, for many years, everybody thought Houston had much more going for it than they ever produced on the field. So this is a tough game. As far as your overplay, that's going to really come down to whether Keenum can get the ball deep. I think he will do that. I totally agree. His tendency is to throw longer passes over 20 yards. That's something Schaub did not do. Can they connect? Can they get the receivers open? Can they get their tight ends open? I think they can, and I do agree with you. This could be an overplay.
The thing that has really surprised me the most about the Houston Texans is the run defense. This run defense the last 2 years has been awesome. This year it's really fallen off. They're ranked 26, giving up 122 yards rushing per game. Now they have the number one pass defense, but those two go together. They haven't been able to stop the run. And while you don't know what you're going to get out of Case Keenum, you do know what the Colts have. Andrew Luck, 10 touchdowns, 3 picks. He's been solid. And they've been going to the running game this year, which has been surprising to me. They've been very good at it. And even the front office has chipped in, trading for Trent Richardson. I'm not really that high on the guy, but it does show you what the front office can do for a team saying, hey, we believe in you guys. We're going to get players for you because we think you're I got a chance to win the division. So it's really a good atmosphere that's going on with this Colts team. And don't forget, they're also coming off a bye. So the home team, when these division rivals meet, happens to be 6-0 against the spread. However, the Texans are 2-5 ATS their last 7 home games. For me, David, is going to be the Colts or nothing in this one.
All right, let's get to the best bets, guys. And once again, remind everybody of what we've got coming up this weekend. Mine, I have to go with the first game we talked about today and side with the Eagles and Raiders game to stay under the total based on what I'm seeing out of those two teams. If you want the strong stuff this weekend, though, and it's strong, 2 conference games of the year in college football. Those are 2-1 so far. The one loss was, quite frankly, a bad beat, but who cares about that? Could be. Should have been, would have been, whatever. It's still 2-1. And these are both window games as well, which means they sell for a nickel each online. You're going to get both games for $10 and a guarantee. You must go 2-0, and November's free. Sign up early and get both. Get the bonus football coverage tonight. All you need to do is make one phone call, and you're ready to go. $10 is certainly not a lot to spend. I think you'll be very pleased with the return you get for that $10. 1-866-896-1629. That's 1-866-896-1629. John, reacquaint us once again with what Mr. Vegas has.
Sure, Mr. Vegas has a Game of the Year trifecta going this weekend. 3 games of the year for $29. Going to include his overall college Game of the Year going Saturday. That plays $100 online. You're also going to get his NFC South Game of the Year going on Sunday. You get 3 plays in all, and if you sign up early, he's got his Thursday night NFL Game of the Year. Really likes to play on the Thursday game. 3 plays from Mr. Vegas. 1-866-841-1627.
What do you got, Jim?
Well, let me just say that this is, like I said before, this is a tremendous time of year. It's November, and we've got everything going on. We got college and pro basketball, we got the NHL, and we got college and pro football. Forget baseball. That's over with. Boston's going to win the World Series, and that's it. Dave will be very happy because he's from back there, and he's a Red Sox fan. But what are you going to do? Are you going to make money in November, or are you going to end up paying your book every week or, showing negative figures? I've been winning. I want you to win. That's why I'm making this offer. $39. You get all of November. This is what you get. NBA and college hoops, pro and college football, NHL, and that includes a revenge game of the month, a Pac-12 game of the month. College hoops starts November 8th. You get the Turkey Shoot weekend, which is turkey, Thanksgiving. And if you call right now, you'll even get a bonus on tonight's game. 1-866-841-1655. $39. I don't know what's going to happen in November for you, but I know I'm going to be collecting money. You want to collect money with me? Make the call. 1-866-841-1655. $39, you get that whole schmogalion of games I just mentioned. So make sure you make the call. 1-866-841-1655.
Schmogalion. Smorgasbord. I like it, though. I think I know what it means. Even though
I don't know what it means, but it sounds good.
I think I just made up a good word.
It means value.
Well, that's it for the pro version, the NFL version of Proline, but there's also going to be a college football version, so make sure and check that out as well. A couple of big games, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, and the Miami-Florida State showdown on the college version of Proline. Make sure and watch it. For John Creighton, from Mr. Vegas, and for Jim Feist, I'm Dave Kogan. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend.